B5 Pilot with you on a Thursday, and I've been out here at the hangar doing more work on the fuel system and then getting that bulkhead made between the engine and the passenger area. You do realize the passenger is me. I did tell people I could maybe put stirrups, saddle and stirrups on this, give them a ride on top though, if they wanted to go for a ride. So I've got the bulkhead material cut and trimmed for fit. And of course, what do I need to create now? I need to create, these are easy. I can make the angles for here that rivets into. Angles up on top, angle down at the bottom, but this part that's curved here where the edge of that engine shroud goes, the engine cover, and that part I've marked out. This piece for. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take and run it through. I've got a tipping die set up on my bead roller, and I just have to make sure I get the direction correct on this piece so that I fold this. Yeah, I think that's the correct way. I need to fold this over and tip it back a little past 90 degrees, and then after we get that part done, I'll be able to cut out the notches for where the nut plates go, and then I'll create a in between these nut plates. I will drill holes and dimple die and countersink the rivets in to hold this in place. That'll be a job that does have to get pro sealed in, and that will create the surface that this other part will fit with. And if I'm going to tip this up to 90 degrees, I've got to take that bolt out. The Allen set screw will hold that in place, so I don't actually need this here, so that I'm capable of bending that back at that 90-degree angle. Now, if I had a third hand, I potentially could videotape making that, but yeah, running that through and holding it up, I was able to pull that through and make that angle that I need. And now I need to notch this piece, and then we'll cut the other side to the size that I need so I can create a surface to rivet to. And it is safe to say this looks like it's going to fit. Got the tabs all trimmed out there and the part ready to cleco in. I'm going to drill those holes, cleco, and then we'll take the bulkhead part and see how it fits. And now getting a test fit for the bulkhead piece. I'm going to pre-drill the part that fits against the body first, and then we'll drill through the bulkhead material. And then once I get that clecoed in, I can pull it over to where it rests against the upright on the motor mount there, and then get that prepped for its support drill. Some more completed. I've got the exterior holes here up drilled to 1/8 inch, so they're ready for the dimple die. Interior, we've got the side supports and that lower support all fabricated, drilled out to the 3/32, and I'm going to pull that piece off to do all the rest of the up drilling. This piece will be complete today, and then we'll go to work on the left side bulkhead, but this is a good day's work, and it looks like it's going to fit well. Well, that's proof it's going to work, and sets me up good for heading out here on the weekend and then finishing up this right side where I have to build a little box around those fuel lines. And yeah, I did torque the AN fittings underneath the aircraft, so and then pressure check these. These hold vacuum, so they should not leak. And after we get that right side bulkhead in, we'll put the gascolator and run the secondary lines from the fuel valves, shutoff valves, down to the gascolator, and then I'll be looking at placement for the fuel flow sensor. You'll notice the exhaust headers are pulled off the engine. The ZDZ 500 has, I think, about 1.5 inch size pipe on those headers, and too small of a pipe for the EGT sensors that Garmin sent to use for the G3X. So I actually pulled the headers off, took them down to Dewey Conroy at Pacific Coast Avionics, and had him take a look, one of his mechanics take a look at the headers and the EGT sensor, and then took some measurements, and he's calling up Garmin to see their suggestion for what might better fit there. Might need to take the headers in and have a piece welded in that the EGT sensor fits into, or we might find a ready-made sensor that better fits. So as soon as that's on, and then I get the part from David Yoakum for the drive shaft and the pulley for the alternator, I'll be installing the engine. And as soon as I get the alternator placed, we'll be building the airbox. So there's a lot happening just in the next couple of months. As soon as I have the parts, and if all goes well, we'll be starting the engine real soon. And that's pretty exciting to actually have this light at the end of the tunnel and be imagining that I'll actually be starting the engine soon. So BD5 Pilot's out for now. I'll see you all this weekend. Everybody hit that like button, and thanks for all your support.